Bey is a Turkish title for chieftain, traditionally applied to the leaders of small tribal groups. The feminine equivalent title was begum. The regions or provinces where beys ruled or which they administered were called bey-like, roughly meaning emirate or principality in the first case, province or governorate in the second. Today, the word is still used informally as a social title for men. Unlike Mr., however, it follows the name and is used generally with first names and not with last names. Etymology. The word entered English from Turkish bey, itself derived from Old Turkic beg, which, in the form bag, has been mentioned as early as in the York on inscriptions and is usually translated as tribal leader. The dialect variations bak, bek, bey, be, by, and pig all derived from the Old Turkic form. The actual origin of the word is still disputed, though it is mostly agreed that it was a loan word in Old Turkic. This Turkic word is usually considered a borrowing from an Iranian language. However, German Turkologist Gerhard Deweyfer assessed the derivation from Iranian as superficially attractive but quite uncertain, and pointed out the possibility that the word may be genuinely Turkic. Two principal etymologies have been proposed by scholars. The Middle Persian title bag meaning lord and master. Peter Golden derives the word via Sogdian bgy from the same Iranian root. All Middle Iranian languages retain forms derived from Baga in the sense god. Middle Persian bey, Parthian bagama, Bactrian bago, Sogdian beta gamma, and were used as honorific titles of kings and other men of high rank in the meaning of lord. The Iranian bey gave Turkish word bai, whence Mongol name bayan. The Chinese title po, meaning older brother and feudal lord, often lower members of the aristocracy, is the Chinese noble title equivalent to count. What is certain is that the word has no connections to Turkish berk, strong, or Turkish bogu, shaman, Turkish and Azerbaijani beys. The first three rulers of the Ottoman realm were titled bey. The chief sovereign of the Ottoman Empire only came to be called sultan starting in 1383 when Murad I was granted this title by the shadow caliph in Cairo. The Ottoman state had started out as one of a dozen Turkish Ghazi beyliks, roughly comparable to Western European duchies, into which Anatolia had been divided after the breakup of the Seljuk Sultanate of Iconium and the military demise of the Byzantine Empire. Its capital was Bursa. By 1336 it had annexed only the beylik of Karati, its western neighbor on the coast of the Sea of Marmara, but it began to expand quite rapidly thereafter, as the Ottoman realm grew from a beylik into an imperial sultanate. The title, bey, came to be applied to subordinate military and administrative officers, such as a district administrator and lower-level minor military governors. The latter were usually titled sanjabi. Beys were lower in rank than pashas and provincial governors, who governed most of the Ottoman vilayets, but higher than efendis. Eventually the chiefs of the former Ottoman capitals Bursa and Edirne in Turkish Thrace both were designated bey. Over time the title became somewhat devalued, as bey was even used as a courtesy title for a pasha's son. It also came to be attached to officers and dignitaries below those entitled to be pashas, notably the following military officer ranks: Murali, Kaymakam. Oddly, the compound Bey Effendi was part of the title of the husband Bey Effendi, and sons Bey Effendi, of an imperial princess, and their sons in turn were entitled to the courtesy title Beyzade. By the late 19th century, bey had been reduced in the Ottoman Empire to an honorary equivalent of the English-speaking address, sir, somewhat akin to the contemporary Cockney usage of governor, while in Kazakh and other Central Asian Turkic languages, Baj remains a rather honorific title. In modern Turkish, and in Azerbaijan, the word bey simply means Mr. or Sir and is used in the meaning of chieftain only in historical context. Bey is also used in Turkish in combined form for certain military ranks, e.g., albay, meaning colonel, from Alay, regiment, and bey, and yarbay, meaning lieutenant colonel, from yardım, assistance, and bey. As with most Turkish titles, it follows the name rather than precedes it as in Western languages, e.g., Ahmet Bey, for Mr. Ahmet. When one speaks of Mr. Ahmet, the title has to be written with a capital, but when one addresses him directly it is simply written without capital. Bey may combine with Effendi to give a common form of address, to which the possessive suffix m is usually added. Bey Efendim, Efendim. Bey Effendi has its feminine counterpart, Hanım Efendi, Harem Effendi, used alone, to address a woman without her first name, and with the first name, Aisha Hanım or Aisha Hanım, for example, according to the rule given above about the use of the capital letter. Beys elsewhere. The title Bey could be maintained as a similar office within Arab states that broke away from the high court, such as Egypt and Sudan under the Muhammad Ali dynasty, where it was a rank below Pasha, and a title of courtesy for a Pasha's son. Even much earlier, the virtual sovereign's title in Barbaresque North African Regency states was Bey. Notably in Tunis, the Husseinid dynasty used a whole series of title and styles including Bey. Just Bey itself was part of the territorial title of the ruler, and also as a title used by all male members of the family. Bey al-Kursi, Bey of the throne, a term equivalent to reigning prince. Bey al-Mahella, Bey of the camp, title used for the next most senior member of the Beylikal family after the reigning Bey, the heir apparent to the throne. Bey al-Tawla, Bey of the table, the title of the heir presumptive, the eldest prince of the Beylikal family, who enjoyed precedence immediately after the Bey al-Mahella. Beylibi, Lord of Lords, was the administrative rank formerly enjoyed by the ruler of Algiers and by rulers of parts of the Balkans in their official capacity of Ottoman Governor-General within the Turkish Empire. This title was also used in Safavid Empire. Bey was also the title that was awarded by the Sultan of Turkey in the twilight of the Ottoman Empire to Oloy Muhammad Shketar, an African merchant prince of the Yoruba people who served as a ranking leader of the Muslim community in the Kingdom of Lagos. Subsequently, he and his children became known in Nigeria by the compound name Shitar Bey, a tradition which has survived to the present day through their lineal descendants. In the Ottoman period, the lords of the semi-autonomous Mani Peninsula used the title of Bey. For example, Petros Mavromichalis was known as Petrobey. Other beys saw their own bey-like promoted to statehood, e.g., in Kusantina, an Ottoman district subject to the Algiers Regency since 1525, the last incumbent, Ahmed Bey ben Muhammad Sharif, was maintained when in 1826 the local Kabila population declared independence, and when it was on 13 October 1837 conquered by France, until it was incorporated into Algeria in 1848. Bey or a variation has also been used as an aristocratic title in various Turkic states, such as back in the Tatar Khanate of Kazan, in charge of a bey-like called Baklik. The Balkar princes in the North Caucasus highlands were known as Taubi, meaning the mountainous chief. Sometimes a bey was a territorial vassal within a khanate, as in each of the three Zuzes under the Khan of the Kazakhs. The variation Bek, Beg or Bai is still used as a family name or a part of a name in South and Central Asia as well as the Balkans. In Slavic influence names, it can be seen in conjunction with the Slavic Ovi, Ovich, ab suffixes meaning son of, such as in Kurbagovich, Izabegovich, Obey-Kunan Bub. The title is also used within the Moorish American community, membership of the Moorish Science Temple of America as a tribal honorific which denotes an Islamic governor along with the pre-word el.